Hello learner, welcome to Manifested e-learning forum. My name is Emlyn Ngwiri and I'll be taking you through alternative investment analysis. We are looking at block revision and we are going to do November 2015 question 1. We are being requested by the examiner to highlight 6 types of risks associated with infrastructure as a form of alternative investment. So we are going to highlight the 6 risks. So we are looking at November 2015, like that, question 1. And we are going to look at it, the entire question. So we start off by looking at question 1A, which is asking us to highlight the 6 types of risks associated with infrastructure. The first type of risk, because we've been told to highlight, we just mentioned them very briefly, so long as you understand. We are saying fraudulent sale in the cases where you have infrastructure that is sold fraudulently, and that is usually the case in some developing countries. This is one of the risks associated with infrastructure. The second type of risk is they are difficult to value. We do not know which valuation approach to use, and we are saying that it is difficult to value. There. Third type of risk, probably maybe I should emphasize a lot on this. There are usually 3 methods that are useful in valuing real estate. The most common ones is the income approach, the sales comparison approach, and the cost approach. So which approach to use depends on the type of real estate there. Because you're saying that some real estate would be able to be valued effectively based on income. Some of them would be effectively valued based on the cost approach, like that. The third type of risk is that adverse possession. Meaning that we may have individuals, say for example, who have a neighboring piece of land, like that. So this is the parcel of land that individual X owns, or this individual owns that parcel of land. If they end up planting maize like this for some period of time, it is believed in traditional common law that if this individual over here ended up paying property taxes and such like related fees in form of rates, we are saying that this individual could be able to be deemed to have or to own both properties. So adverse possession is one of the key risks that is still applicable in today's developing countries, or even some developed countries there. Number 4, the fourth type of risk is cash shortfall. In case, we are saying in case where budgeted values are less than the actual values, are less than the actuals or the actual values. So if you had budgeted probably this to develop this parcel of land, maybe say 1.5 billion shillings, but that is what we are saying is the budget. But sometimes you can be able to find that the budget may not be the actual. The actual investment in this property would probably require maybe 3.5 billion, like that. So that cash shortfall is a risk of developing or that affects infrastructure there. Number 5, we are saying that it requires sophisticated teams. It requires sophisticated teams in order to source and to analyze. In order to source, analyze, and what else can we be able to say? And structure the real estate. And structure, not real estate, in this case you're saying the structure, infrastructure. And hence, in this case, we are saying that they are expensive to maintain. In this case, hence are expensive to maintain. That. Because we've been asked for how many points? We've been asked for 6. So we will be able to provide 6. So in this case, you're saying the 6th point right over there is that increased chances of low quality infrastructure, especially due to such cases as corruption. There. So we can say increased chances of low quality structures, increased chances of low quality structures due to corruption. This is usually very prevalent in developing economies, and of course, even we are also part of this fraud, or not fraud, we can be able to say this kind of corruption case. Of course, you need to know that corruption is different from fraudulent sale. This one is where you're selling the infrastructure itself fraudulently, and you know that infrastructure is usually can be of 2 forms, can be of economic infrastructure and social infrastructure. They are government owned, so they are not supposed to be sold off unless, or if they're supposed to be sold off, they're supposed to be sold off in a very structured and very open manner there. So those are the 6 risks that fall what we call infrastructure.